Hey lads, welcome to another boss healing guide. This time we are in Court of Stars and we are healing the last boss, Advisor Melandrus, from a Restoration Shaman point of view. The footage is from a +21 Tyrannical key, and you'll be able to see the skills that I'm casting on the left hand side of the screen along with their targets. Now this fight has been significantly nerfed, so it's pretty easy right now, but let's actually go through the mechanics. So the first thing that he's going to do is a blade search. It targets a player from your party, which is usually the furthest away from the group, and then he's going to charge towards them. Now obviously that player wants to move out of the charge, and once the charge is over, he's going to leave a shade or a copy of himself at that location. The next mechanic is a piercing gale, which is going to make those purple lines on the floor coming out of every shade. And obviously you want to dodge these, because if you get hit when the cast is over, you are dead. After the piercing gale is over, he's going to do one more blade search, and at this point your furthest away member of the party could actually move on top of the previous shade, so they're all stacked, and then it's easier to dodge the gales that are going to follow. And the last mechanic that we have is the Slicing Maelstrom. He's going to do this channel cast, which is interruptible, and he's going to do a heavy AoE damage to your party. Few important things to note here: that ability is duplicated to the other copies of the boss, so the more you have, the more damage your party is going to be taking, but there is a maximum limit of 4 that could be active at any time. There is also a short range of 7 yards around the boss and the copies, where you're actually going to be taking more damage from the Slicing Maelstrom, which means that you want to move further away from those 7 yards to reduce the amount of damage that you will be taking. And that is pretty much the whole fight. He's going to repeat that over and over again until you kill him, or of course he kills you. So first, you want to stay on top of the group, on top of your melee, if you have somebody else baiting, so that they can easily stack the copies together. Next, watch your feet during piercing gale so you don't get hit by the lines on the ground. And after the second blade search, you want to cast your healing rain on the ground, and then just precast chain heal to keep everybody topped up during the Slicing Maelstrom. As you can see, at this +21 Tyrannical key, I have no problem keeping everybody up by just casting Downpour and Chain Heals without any additional cooldowns whatsoever. Now, there's one more thing to watch for, and those are the circles that are just hovering around at the floor. If you walk on top of them, you are stunned for 3 seconds, and although they don't do damage, if you do it at the wrong moment, that could be devastating. As you can see at the top of my screen right now, my Warlock actually stepped into one at the same time where the boss is doing a blade search on him. And although the Swirly Underground didn't kill him, now you see that he has a dot on himself and he got hit for a significant amount of damage. So I'm walking in trying to save him during the Slicing Maelstrom, not realizing that my Ascendus is actually on cooldown, and here, walking out of this, I actually got stunned into one of the Swirlies on the ground as well. Luckily, nothing hit me during this moment, so I survived. But those are the plays that could actually wipe you on this boss, otherwise it's not that hard to heal. So as you can see, another Slicing Maelstrom. Not everybody is on top of my healing rain for the deluge debuff, so the chain heals heal them for 20% more, but as long as you're prepared and you're precasting, you should have absolutely no problem keeping everybody topped up. You can dispel the 3-second stun if somebody walks on top of one of the swirlies. Your tank could do it sometimes just to clear them up, so be prepared to do that, but generally nobody should be walking on top of them. And in this case, I guess it was just a little bit unfortunate that the Warlock did that. So as you can see, it becomes a little bit hectic because we're not baiting them on top of each other. So now the dodges for the Piercing Gale are a little bit harder, but the scripted boss keeps doing the same things. So here, there's another mistake on my end. I'm chasing my party trying to cast the Healing Rain, and as you can see, I'm standing on top of one of the copies. My Warlock is actually doing the same on another copy, so now when the Slicing Maelstrom starts, you're going to see that both of us are going to take significantly more damage than the rest of the party. And that would have been actually a perfect moment for the Spirit Link, which is basically the only cooldown that I have left. Luckily, I managed to keep everybody alive even with that mistake, but as you can see in that +21 Tyrannical key, I have no problem keeping my group up even without cooldowns. And of course, if somebody makes a mistake or you are falling behind, you can actually pop a CD to help you top everybody up. On a higher keys, of course, you have to rotate your defensives and make sure that everybody is able to survive the damage from the Slicing Maelstrom, but even on a plus 21 Tyrannical, again, the damage is not that scary. The important part here is just to do the mechanics correctly, stay away from the shades while the Slicing Maelstrom happens, and then watch your feet, don't get hit by the lines, they will one-shot you, and don't get stunned, because even though that doesn't kill you, if it happens in an inconvenient moment, you could actually die. Other than that, it's rinse and repeat. You can use your Cloud Burst if you're running that talent to help you up with healing, and eventually the boss is going to die. Usually you don't have Lust for this boss, simply because you use it for the second boss, and it's not going to be up at this point. So here is a list of the talents that I've used. There's of course a lot of wiggle room here. If you play correctly and the key is not very high, you might actually heal this boss without any cooldowns whatsoever. And hopefully this video is going to make the end of your Court of Stars dungeons much easier to heal. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more guides on other bosses on the channel, just let me know which ones you are interested in. Good luck on your keys, happy healing, and see you in the next one.